The following is a video presentation on the proper use of the 920 roll groover. It is designed to make the operation of your 920 roll groover easy and efficient. The 920 roll groover is designed to form rolled grooves in steel, stainless steel, aluminum, PVC pipe, and copper tubing. The hydraulic feeding of a grooving roll into the pipe that is supported by a drive roll forms the grooves. The 920 roll groover includes 3 groove and drive shaft sets that can groove the following pipe: 2 to 6 inch scheduled 10 and 40, 8 to 12 inch scheduled 10 and 40, 14 to 16 inch standard 3/8 inch or standard wall. With additional roll sets, the groover can also be adapted to groove the following: 2 to 8 inch copper tubing, types K, L, M, DWV, 18 to 20 inch scheduled 10 wall, 22 to 24 inch scheduled 10 wall. See Table 2 in your operator's manual for exact wall thickness. Caution! When properly used, the 920 roll groover makes grooves that are dimensionally within the specifications of AWWA C606-87. Selection of the appropriate materials and joining methods is the responsibility of the system designer and/or installer. Before any installation is attempted, careful evaluation of the specific service environment, including chemical environment and service temperature, should be completed. Caution! Use of roll sets on both carbon and stainless steel pipe can lead to contamination of the stainless steel material. This contamination could cause corrosion and failure of the pipe. Warning! Before assembling or operating the 920 roll groover, be sure to read the operator's manual safety instructions, including special instructions for electrical safety, located in the front of the manual. Read and understand all the safety and operating instructions before operating the 920 roll groover. Read all warning labels on the tool. For your convenience, it is divided into the following segments so you can quickly find what you need. Installing the roll groover on the 300 power drive. Machine inspection. Machine setup. Operating instructions. Maintenance. Technical service. Installing the roll groover on the 300 power drive. Warning: only use a Ridgid 300 power drive that operates at 38 RPM. Warning: because of the groover's heavy weight, 2 people are required to lift and set up the unit. To remove the groover from the number 32 transport cart, remove the pin and slide the cart from the base. Remove the hitch pins that lock the legs into the groover and remove the legs. Use 2 people to lift the groover onto the power drive. Slide the roll groover onto the support arms by aligning them with the tubes located on either side of the base. Warning: while the roll groover base is on the power drive without the legs attached, it is front heavy and could tip over. Push back on the tool head until the legs are in place and secure. Align the drive shaft so that the flats engage the jaws of the chuck. Tighten the chuck jaws securely onto the drive shaft by using repeated and forceful counterclockwise spins of the hand wheel. Lift each side of the groover and insert the legs into the sockets located in the base. Install the hitch pins. Adjust both legs until the unit is level. Check that the groover is level and the unit is stable. Warning: the machine must be placed on a flat surface. The 300 power drive, groover, and pipe stands must be stable. Failure to locate the groover on a level surface or properly set up the unit may result in the unit tipping or the pipe falling. Install the pump handle by screwing it into the elbow. Machine inspection. To prevent serious injury, inspect your roll groover and power drive. Make sure the machine is unplugged and the directional switch is in the off position. Make sure the foot switch is present and attached to the machine. Inspect the power cord and plug for damage. Make sure the bolts holding the roll groover and stabilizer to the base are tight. Make sure all screws holding the pump to the roll groover are tight. Check that the guard mounted to the roll groover is in place and operating properly. Warning: do not operate the roll groover with the guard removed. Exposure to moving roll grooving rolls may result in fingers being crushed. Inspect the roll groover and machine for any broken, missing, or misaligned or binding parts, as well as any other conditions which may affect the safe and normal operation of this equipment. Lubricating the roll groover is necessary according to the maintenance instructions. Use groover rolls and accessories that are designed for your roll groover and meet the needs of your application. Clean any oil, grease, or dirt from all equipment handles and controls. Inspect the groove rolls to ensure they are not damaged or worn. Machine setup. Pipe stands. Properly support pipe under pipe stands. Use pipe stands rated for the pipe size to be grooved. Note: 6-inch pipe and smaller should be supported with a VJ99 pipe stand. 1 stand for pipe less than 36 inches and 2 for greater than 36 inches in length. 6-inch pipe and larger can be supported on the RJ624 pipe stand. 1 stand can be used for lengths less than 8 feet. When 1 stand is used, the pipe should be centered on the stand so that the center of gravity of the pipe is over the center of the stand when it is about 3 feet away from the roll groover. Stabilizer adjustment. The stabilizer has 2 different positions. The position closest to the drive shaft will allow the stabilizer to work for 2 to 16-inch pipe. The second stabilizer position will work for 14 to 24-inch pipe. Remove the 2 3/8-inch bolts that hold the stabilizer in place with a 9/16-inch wrench or socket. Move the stabilizer into the desired position. Tighten the 2 3/8-inch bolts that hold the stabilizer in place. Caution: it is recommended that the stabilizer be used for all lengths of pipe. Setup. Make sure the machine is off. Position the foot switch so the operator can safely control the machine, roll groover, and workpiece. Plug the machine into the electrical outlet. Warning: to avoid electrical shock and fires, never use an extension cord that is damaged. The cord must have a 3-prong plug and have sufficient wire thickness. 14 gauge below 25 feet. Keep all electrical connections dry and off the ground. Check the unit to ensure it is operating properly by putting the switch to the forward position. Depress and hold the foot switch. The machine being used should rotate under 38 RPM. Release the foot switch and turn the machine off. Check that the groove rolls are the correct size. Roll guards. Warning: do not operate the roll groover with the guards removed. Make sure the guards are operating properly and are not damaged. Exposure to moving grooving rolls or stabilizer wheel may result in fingers being crushed. Check that the upper grooving roll is fully retracted by placing the pump release lever in the return position towards the operator. The guard should be in the open position as shown. With pressure applied to the hydraulic cylinder and the upper roll in the grooving position, the guard should be in the closed or operating position. The guard on the operator's side will move in and out with the adjustment of the stabilizer. Operating instructions. Warning: you should be thoroughly familiar with the preceding safety information before attempting to operate this machine. Do not wear loose clothing or loose-fitting gloves when operating this machine. Keep sleeves and jackets buttoned. Always wear eye protection. Do not use this roll groover with a power drive that has a broken or missing foot switch. Always groove in the forward position. Keep hands away from the grooving rolls and stabilizer wheel. Do not reach across the machine or pipe. Never reach inside the pipe. Never groove pipe shorter than what is recommended. Before making a groove, the pipe must be properly prepared. Pipe end should be cut square. Do not use a cutting torch. Pipe out of roundness should not exceed the total OD tolerance listed in the groove specifications in your operator's manual. See your operator's manual for further details. All internal or external weld bends, flash, or seams must be ground flush at least 2 inches back from the pipe end. Do not cut flats on the gasket seat area. The end of the pipe, both inside and out, must be cleaned of coarse scale, dirt, and other foreign material. Chart A in your operator's manual lists the minimum lengths of pipe or tubing to be grooved and the maximum length to be grooved with one VJ99 pipe stand. Chart B lists the minimum length of the pipe or tubing to be grooved and the maximum length to be grooved with one RJ624 pipe stand. Pipe or tube longer than the specified maximum lengths listed must be supported with 2 pipe stands. Warning: failure to use 2 pipe stands may result in the unit tipping or the pipe falling. Make sure the stands and pipe are stable. Raise the upper groove roll housing by placing the pump release lever in the return position. Square the pipe and pipe support to the roll groover, making sure the pipe is flush against the drive roll flange. Verify that the pipe is level or sloped slightly upward away from the operator. Note: if the machine cannot be leveled, make sure that the slope of the pipe and the machine are the same. Caution: if the pipe is grooved with the back end of the pipe too much higher than the end being grooved, the pipe may not track, and a pipe end flare may result. Check that the pipe is square with the drive shaft or tilted slightly away from the operator. Caution: the tracking angle will affect the pipe end flare. When the pipe end flare is excessive, the left to right tracking angle must be kept to a minimum. Note: due to differing pipe characteristics, a test groove should always be performed when setting up or changing pipe sizes. The index depth adjustment knob must be reset for each diameter of pipe or tube. The groove depth gauge is designed to make a first guess of the depth required to achieve the required groove diameter. Make sure the pump valve is closed. Actuate the hand pump until the cylinder builds up about 500 psi of pressure. Put the correct section of the gauge under the adjusting nut. Tighten the adjusting screw onto the gauge. Back off the adjusting nut slightly and turn the gauge to the grooving position. Because of the significant variability in pipe outside diameter, the depth setting gauge will not be 100% accurate in achieving the required groove diameter. The actual groove diameter should be measured with calipers or a pie tape. Each turn of the adjusting screw will change the groove diameter by 0.1 of an inch. See your operator's manual for more details. Caution: pipe wall thickness cannot exceed the maximum wall thickness specified in the pipe maximum and minimum wall thickness table in the operator's manual. Flip the directional switch to forward and step on the power drive or threading machine foot switch while applying downward pressure on the 920 roll groover pump handle. Make sure that the groove roll has pressure on the pipe. Tighten the stabilizer until contact is made with the pipe plus 1 to 1 1/2 turns. Step on the foot switch and begin pumping. Use up to 5,000 psi for thin wall pipe and up to 6,200 to 6,500 psi for standard wall pipe. Allow 1 full pipe rotation between quarter stroke of the pump handle. After the depth adjusting nut bottoms out on the unit, allow the pipe to make 2 more complete revolutions to even out the groove. Retract the upper groove roll by placing the pump lever in the release position and release the foot switch. Note: check the groove diameter with pipe tape. Adjust the depth as needed. If flare is excessive, use less pressure and slope the pipe downward as it goes away from the machine. If the pipe tends to walk off the drive roll, check the setup. If correct, increase the stabilizer pressure. Make sure the pipe is offset away from the operator. Make sure the pipe is sloped up away from the operator. Note: as groove dimensions are determined by the roll set geometry, specific roll sets are required when grooving the following: 2 to 6 inch schedule 10, 40. 8 to 12 inch schedule 10, 40. 14 to 16 inch standard wall .375. 18 to 20 inch quarter inch wall. 22 to 24-inch quarter-inch wall, 2 to 8-inch copper tubing types K, L, M, DWV. To change the roll set, unplug the power cord on the 300 power drive. Loosen the chuck on the 300 power drive, but do not remove the gear set. This will allow the drive shaft to spin freely, so the stop pin can be engaged. Back off the number 10 24 set screw in the upper roll housing with the long T-handled hex wrench provided. It may be necessary to lower the upper roll housing slightly by actuating the pump handle. This will allow the guard to open enough to remove the upper roll shaft. It may also be necessary to retract the stabilizer as much as possible. Guard should not be removed to change groove rolls. Lightly tap the upper groove roll shaft out of the upper roll housing until it clears the guards. Remove the upper groove roll shaft. Be sure to keep one hand solidly on the upper groove roll. The groove upper roll weighs up to 14 pounds and could drop suddenly. Engage the locking pin in the drive shaft. Loosen the 5/8-inch draw bolt and remove the drive roll. Install the desired lower drive roll. Engage the locking pin in the drive shaft. Tighten the 5/8-inch draw bolt to approximately 150 foot-pounds. Install the matching upper groove roll and shaft. Grease if necessary through the zerk on the upper roll shaft. It may be necessary to lightly tap the upper roll shaft in place. Make sure to align the set screw hole on the upper roll housing with the groove on the upper roll shaft. Tighten the number 10 24 set screw in the upper roll housing until it contacts the upper roll shaft. Tighten the chuck on the 300 power drive. Removing the roll groover from the 300 power drive. Warning: because of the groover's heavy weight, 2 people are required to lift and remove the unit. Move the stabilizer to the position closest to the drive shaft. Remove the handle from the pump and set aside. Turn the lower legs counterclockwise to shorten the legs as much as possible. Lift up each side of the roll groover and remove each leg. Set the legs aside. Warning: while the roll groover base is on the power drive without the legs attached, it is front heavy and could tip over. Loosen the chuck on the 300 power drive. Use 2 people to slide the roll groover off of the 300 power drive and place it upright on the ground. Insert the number 32 transport cart into the base. Make sure the 2 alignment lugs on the number 32 transport cart are also inserted into the base. Insert the hitch pin that holds the number 32 transport cart in place. Put both legs in the tubes used to support the roll groover when it is on the 300 power drive. Insert the hitch pins. Maintenance. Motor-driven equipment must be kept indoors or well covered in rainy weather. Store the machine in a locked area that is out of reach of children and people unfamiliar with roll groover equipment. This machine can cause serious injury in the hands of untrained users. Make sure the machine is unplugged from a power source before performing maintenance or making any adjustments. Adding hydraulic fluid. Raise the upper groove roll housing by placing the pump release lever in the return position. Remove the pump handle from the pump assembly. Remove the pump from the lower roll housing. Rotate the pump 180 degrees so the filler cap is pointed up. Raise the pump as much as possible. Remove the filler cap and fill the reservoir with oil. Replace the filler cap. Put the pump back into its position on the lower roll housing. Tighten all fasteners holding the pump in place. Lubrication. Lubricate with multi-purpose grease at the fittings located on the groove roll shaft and lower roll housing once a month, and after every roll change.